Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events, and this is going to be a big weather event, unfortunately, for areas west of Arkansas. This is a very typical spring severe weather outlook, and you may hear a lot of, I hate to call it hype in the media, but there's a lot of talk about it in the media, and it's because it has been seen so far in advance. So, really, this is coming with ample amounts of notice for those in the affected area. And what you have here, what you see is the slight risk area, which is out here in Oklahoma, especially right along that I-35 corridor from the Red River Valley up towards Oklahoma City and up to Wichita, Kansas, where moderate risk is in effect for late this afternoon and into the early evening hours. So again, you may construe some of this as hype, but this is really just a system that has been seen so well by all of the different computer models, and it's going to affect Arkansas, but differently than how it's going to affect areas towards our west. So it does seem a little scary for some, but let me just explain to you the threats and exactly where those threats will be and when, using all this data that we have. Again, this is the Storm Prediction Center, and this is for today. Even though this shows today, this is really for late today and tonight. I would say in this area of the state after 10 p.m., right around that time period up until Wednesday morning for far western Arkansas. So right on the fringe of the Channel 7 viewing area. So again, this is going to be where the tornado threat is going to be the greatest too, out here in Oklahoma. As this area of thunderstorms moves towards the east tonight, this is going to not so much weaken, but the tornado threat should decrease, and wind and hail will be the primary concern. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, but wind and hail in this area of the state. And then that threat's going to translate further towards the east. So this is what I've got for western Arkansas tonight. A medium threat for hail, wind, and we're talking about severe hail, 1 inch in diameter, wind 58 miles per hour or greater. Tornado threat's low, flooding threat is there. And then tomorrow, you notice how that risk area shifts further towards the east, and you have a slight risk area for much of the Channel 7 viewing area. And a lot of this is dependent upon how much instability develops during the day, meaning what we may have from all these leftover thunderstorms coming across in the morning, what we call convective debris. And that's just leftover clouds from the previous round of thunderstorms, which could inhibit and help prevent major destabilization of the atmosphere. So this is all dependent upon how much instability we receive. So let's go to the HRRR, and this is from weatherbell.com, high resolution rapid refresh, and this is the experimental HRRR. It's a short-term model that goes out to 15 hours, but this goes out to 24 hours now, which is fantastic because I love this computer model. Watch a cluster of this is, again, just one computer model scheme, but this is later this afternoon with a bunch of thunderstorms and a strong outflow boundary, which could inhibit and play a part in the overnight thunderstorms. And I'll show you how in just a second. But if these dive out of Missouri, and if this develops, again, that's a big if these thunderstorms in Missouri develop, this is late this afternoon, it would send a rush of air southward. And you could get strong to severe thunderstorms with it, but this could stabilize behind it the atmosphere for when these start to come in. But where this doesn't affect, if you're not affected by this, wow, the arrow just got huge. Did you see that? Is that a new feature on my computer? Anyway, if this does not affect you, then these thunderstorms may, to a more of a severe degree. So this is at 7 p.m. tonight, and these storms are still out in central and moving into eastern Oklahoma. You see that right there? Again, this right here is all. I'm not quite sure the extent of this. All right, I'm not quite sure the extent of this area of thunderstorms coming in from the north. But this is at 9 p.m. At 9 p.m., the storms are severe in Oklahoma, but they should be in a transition phase from being big tornadic producing storms to hail, wind, and the intensity should start to come down a little bit, especially as we head towards midnight. This is at 10, 11, 12. So you see the area of the state affected is mainly northwestern Arkansas. at midnight tonight. At midnight. And then we're going to watch these thunderstorms out here in Oklahoma and northern Texas. And this only goes out to 24 hours. But you see, this is at, I got to do the math here. This is at 4 a.m. You can see some thunderstorms. And there's the potential that these could be severe in north central Arkansas, maybe a couple thunderstorms in central Arkansas. And then we're going to have to watch again. And it's all dependent on Wednesday to see how much destabilization we get, how much recovery in the atmosphere, how much instability we get after these areas of rain and thunderstorms moves by, and then the front slowly moves into the state. And if we get some destabilization, let me go to another computer model. Stay with me here. I've already talked for almost 6 minutes. I'm just going to the 4-kilometer NAM. And this hasn't really been doing that great of a job lately. But it does show the thunderstorms tonight. This is at 10, 11, 12. And you see these thunderstorms out here still at 12 in Oklahoma and far northwestern Arkansas. And then they slowly move in a weakened phase tomorrow morning. This is at 7 a.m. according to this. You have a couple thunderstorms here, a couple thunderstorms here. And according to this model, not much here. Everything's in a decaying phase. But this clears out, and let's just go out till tomorrow afternoon. And this is at 7 p.m. Let me see if I can get the cape here. This is the instability. This computer model is showing, and again, this is a measure of the instability cape, convective available potential energy. The higher the number, the more unstable the air. And when you see it going into, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, that's some very unstable air. And it does show that developing in that slight risk area that the Storm Prediction Center has outlined. Then all of a sudden you say, well, what's this hole right here? What's this hole right here? Well, that's where the cape's being used up. That's where in the form of thunderstorm. And so it's indicating thunderstorms developing, and there you see it. That's at 7 p.m. So there could be, again, and then you see they're more isolated, there could be another round of thunderstorms that the coverage would not be all that great, but they could be severe later on Wednesday afternoon and evening. Again, and that's all dependent upon how much recovery we get in the atmosphere and how much destabilization. So that's all I've got. Thanks for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.